What's going on, my fellow fuzz butts? ZabuTheSergal here, and I'm back with another video just to educate my people. And welcome back to another installment of the Single Furry series, where I'm just trying to help all the single fuzz butts out there just kind of get a little bit more tips, tricks, and pointers on how to find their special someone. And in this episode, we're going to talk about the hunt, finding that person, because this can probably be the hardest thing to do when it comes to getting in a relationship. It's just finding someone who clicks with you. Of course, in the first episode, I just talked about attraction and, you know, just all the things that you're into and what you're looking for whenever you're looking for that specific person. Now we're going to talk about ways you can actually find that specific person. And as always, you know, I can't speak for everybody, but I can just talk about my own experiences. So how me and Babby met. Me and Babby first originally met at an anime convention called Ichiban Con in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's since moved to Concord, but it was like the very first year that Ichiban started, and since then it's turned into a pretty decent anime convention. And yeah, that's where we first actually met, though we didn't interact very much at that time, and this was in 2009 when we met? Yeah, 2009 we met, 2010 when we started dating, so yeah. Or was it 2008? 999, definitely 9. So yeah, and of course there's been videos in the past on me explaining how we got together and that whole process and stuff, but I can say that going to conventions is a very, very, very good way to make that happen, because you're already in the same space with a lot of people that are on the same page as you, and that can be one of the big pluses to being in a relationship, just being able to share likes and interests and thoughts and feelings and stuff with this other person. I mean, that's not saying that you can't be in a prosperous relationship with someone who has different interests. I mean, me and Babby, we do have a lot of different interests, but we also have a lot of the same interests. It's like, you know, there's things that we meet in the middle on, and there's things that we, you know, go our separate ways on. And that's perfectly fine. That's just a part of life. But of course, the more of these things that you link up with, the better off you'll be. Now, I know a lot of you guys may be very shy when it comes to just walking up and talking to people, and some people, they do have different levels of like approachableness. And what I mean by that is, you know, like whenever you see somebody that you want to talk to, but just their whole demeanor is just slightly intimidating. And I know sometimes people can't always help this, because it's not like, you know, you're smiling at any given point in time and all that stuff. So whenever you're just walking through, you know, sometimes things could just be a little on the iffy side. But one of the things about, you know, going on that hunt is that every now and then you gotta make that pounce. Sometimes you just gotta take a chance and just walk up to somebody and try to start conversation. Don't walk up to them and just be like, hey, I think you look adorable and I want to get your number. Not saying that won't work, because I mean, that's all about taking chances. You never know. Being that forward might just work. They might be like, okay, here's my number, we'll talk later, or here's my telegram, or whatever you want to give them. But usually, you know, you can just walk up and just spark a friendly conversation. For example, you know, if you're at a con and you're at the same panel, you know, you can just kind of chime in, you know, ask them if you can sit next to them and stuff like that, and then just kind of, you know, chime in on conversations, and then maybe ask them what they're doing later and all that stuff. And it could be just as easy as that, because one of the things about cons is that a lot of people go into the cons don't really have a set plan as to what they're doing, so there's a lot of free space usually, unless you ask them what they're doing and they got like 17 panels that they're going to. If you're going to some of those same panels, then hey, you can ask them if you can tag along with them, and if not, then it's not going to be the end of the world, because sometimes some people just aren't interested. It's something that you have to accept whenever you're on this hunt, is that there are going to be people that are not interested in you in that way. And it doesn't mean that they're suddenly your enemy or it's the end of the world. It just means that there is a disconnection there, and you just need to meander around and find that person that you actually have that connection with. So yeah, just because the first one fails doesn't mean you should give up. And of course, you know, there's always the dating apps and all that stuff, but I feel that, you know, meeting at a con, that could like speed up some of that process. Though, of course, it all depends on, you know, where they live versus where you live and if you're okay with long distance. But, hey, they might live in the same town as you. I mean, dating apps is another good thing to use because that can narrow down a lot of that criteria right then and there as far as what you're into and what they're into. Because, you know, if you link up on just a couple of those things, like I said in the attraction video, then that is a big plus. That is a big plus. That is a big plus. Oh man, oh man, oh man, it gets a little bit warm back here. And I know that, you know, these are subjects that I can just talk on and on about, but these are just little pointers that I'm giving you guys as far as going on that hunt and finding that special someone. But for right now, I'm gonna go ahead and close this. So, if you like this video, go ahead and scratch that like button so that I can know to post more awesome content in the future. You wanna talk to me? Ask some Twitter. Wanna draw fan art of ZabuTheSergal? Fan art is always welcome. Keep it PG-13. But as always, my name is ZabuTheSergal, and I'm out of here. Blah, 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 blah.